In this episode we head to Hong Kong and then China for the China Cup International Regatta, a 4-day big boat regatta that's established itself firmly on the regional sailing calendar. We then head to Korea for the YISUNSIN International Yacht Race. And we finish this with a look at the recent ISAF meeting and the decision to reinstate windsurfing for the 2016 Olympics. The 2012 China Cup International Regatta welcomed 91 boats and crews from around the world to the 6th edition of what's become China's premier big boat regatta. Day 1 dawned and the sailors readied for the Simpson Marine Passage Race, a 34-mile drag race from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, mainland China. The winds were good for the start, with Jellic getting an early jump on the IRC fleet and heading them out of Hong Kong. Expected to perform well on the good winds and over the distance, Jellic was enjoying themselves until the winds died near the finish and they drifted over the finish line as the rest of the IRC fleet made up ground. Jellic claimed line honours, only to be beaten into second on corrected time by the Kerr 40 Peninsula Signal 8. In the Beneteau 40.71 design class, it was a tight tussle, with 3 boats breaking away at the front and leading the fleet around the course. As they approached the finish, there was an unexpected twist. The race committee announced new coordinates for the finish line, and the Kiwi crew on Vardy Sailing responded first and charged to the new finish, taking the win by 30 seconds from Team Vic Sail in second and Beijing Sailing Centre in third. A busy day was scheduled for day 2 with 3 windward lewards planned. In the 40.7 class, 7 boats jumped the gun and were disqualified, including yesterday's winner Vardy Sailing. This played into the hands of Beijing Sailing Centre, helmed by 2008 Chinese Olympic sailor Summer Song, who after starting badly finished 8th and then went on to finish 2nd and 1st in the remaining races of the day and shoot up the scoreboard. In other classes, some boats are starting to show their colours and establish early leads. Finishing 1st, 2nd and 1st was Constant Wind in the Far East 26 class and Bits and Pieces in HKPN 2 class. In HKPN 1 class, Windseeker scored 2 firsts and a third, while Seawolf in IRC Division 3 had the perfect day scoring 3 bullets. With winds gusting to 20 knots, rocks and moored ships to navigate, there was plenty to keep the 91 teams occupied and entertained on a hectic day 3 of the China Cup International Regatta in Shenzhen. Seawolf continued their winning ways and ran away with the IRC Division 3, again scoring 2 more wins. The fleet enjoyed a windward leeward race followed by the Audi around the island race, a good mix in the challenging conditions. In the 30-strong 40.7 class, Vardy Sailing was having a mixed regatta so far. Packed with Olympic medalists and world champions, expectations were high, but a broken halyard before the Audi around the island race saw them near the back of the fleet off the start line. Vardy Sailing and another favourite, the French Courier team, chipped away and took a route close to the island. Courier team, however, sailed too close and ran aground. Hard. Despite that, they finished 6th in the race and hold 3rd overall. Vardy Sailing came back from a poor start to win the island race, adding to their win in the earlier windward leeward, leaving them top of the class ahead of Beijing Sailing Centre with just 1 day to go. Elsewhere on the racetrack there was some tight racing and plenty of excitement with 2 broken masts. Jellic recorded 22 knots of boat speed in 20 knots of wind, but even that wasn't enough as Peninsula Signal 8 scored a 2-1 on the day to sit just 1 point behind Jellic overall. The final day, and places were still up for grabs. In the Beneteau 40.7 class, Beijing Sailing Centre called tactics to match race Vati Sailing in an attempt to protect their crown. Vati Sailing, however, managed to finish second in the first race, and despite starting near last in the final race, shook off Beijing Sailing Centre to take the final race win and overall class title. The 15-point winning margin disguises the earlier problems and OCS and underlines their exceptional performance throughout the regatta. In the Far East 26 class, a late fight back by Far East with 2 wins on the day wasn't enough, however, to knock Constant Wind off the top. In IRC Division 3, Seawolf outclassed all with 2 more wins today to take the class title undefeated. In IRC 1, Jellic was leading going into the final day, but 2 bullets from Peninsula Signal 8 saw the 40-footer beat the 75-foot Jellic, a true David and Goliath battle. The 4-day regatta, just 6 years old, has made its mark in the region and continues to grow in size. With 91 entries this year, organisers expect to break the 100 barrier next year. The YISUNSIN International Yacht Race takes place in Korea each year and attracts a diverse fleet of yachts. This year's race started with a dinghy fleet race for local university students. Following the dinghy race, eyes turned to the keelboat fleet, which competed in 5 classes including ORC Club 1 and 2, Open 1 and 2, and the J24 class. The 6th YISUNSIN International Yacht Race consisted of 2 import races and an offshore race over the 2 days. Day 1 saw the short races in the Gulf of Tongyong in light winds, which proved both challenging and highly tactical. It was the international teams who got on the scoreboard early, with a team of Russians leading ORC Club 1 after the first day, and a Japanese team leading in the J24 class. The second and final day was a scheduled long-distance race to Ogok Island and back, approximately 14 nautical miles. However, the light winds forced the race committee to shorten the course on the island's southern tip. Local knowledge played a big role, with Team Hamaru winning Open Class 1 and Patience winning Open Class 2, both boats from Korea. In ORC Club 1, Time Machine from Russia took the honours, while Japan's Bambino won ORC Club 2, and another Japanese entry, Boomerang, won the J24 class. At the recent ISAF conference in Ireland, the vote on whether to reverse a decision made earlier this year about the classes for Rio 2016 was the one on most people's minds. Specifically, earlier this year in May, a decision was made to replace windsurfing with kiteboard racing in the 2016 Olympics. The uproar that followed was deafening. While online petitions were launched by the RSX class and the windsurfer community at large, few discussed why kiteboard racing and windsurfing were up against each other in a them or us decision in the first place. Some in the corridors of power questioned the longevity of sailing in the Olympics. With a number of outdated classes currently on the schedule, surely including both windsurfing and kiteboard racing would strengthen sailing's cause. However, this was not to be. Following plenty of lobbying, accusations and denials, At the November ISAF conference, the vote was to reverse the previous decision. RSX men and women will return for Rio 2016. Kiteboard racing is out.